Oh my God, the cast is insane. The musical in concert. How excited are you about 9 and being in it?
I was excited just when it got announced because I love the musical before I even knew I was doing it. And I know that Ramin would just be absolutely perfect in the role. So I just thought, oh my gosh, they're doing 9 at the Lowry. And then I got asked to do it. And then I saw the cast. So it's been this build up of excitement because some of the other women that are in the cast are absolute idols of mine and are incredible. So it's, yeah, I can't wait.
I mean, yeah, you've got Ruthie Henshaw, Danielle Steers. That there is an amazing list, but I've got to say, they're probably saying the same thing about you. We'll go on to your career in a moment, but you've had such an expanse of amazing shows. In this, though, you're playing a great role, Carla. I mean, that's a cracker and some great songs.
I think when anyone asks you to play a role that Penelope Cruz has played, you kind of peaked at that that moment. I can believe it. I was like, okay, but yeah. So no, I mean, I've never seen the musical live. I've only ever seen the film. So I had that to go off. But Carla is one of my favorite roles. I mean, all the roles in the musical are so brilliant. But yeah, I'm super super lucky to be playing Carla.
Because she is the mistress, right, of Guido. So tell us a little bit because, I know the musical, but for anybody who is unaware, maybe not seen the film, what's the premise of it?
So Guido is an Italian filmmaker. He's a very, very famous filmmaker, and he's sort of going through a bit of a crisis in his life. He's got his wife, who he loves very much, but he also has this mistress, and then he has other mistresses and other, movie star mistresses, and he's sort of going through this kind of breakdown in a way, and he can't think of the next film he's supposed to make, and so he sort of is inspired by all the women that have been in his life and the sort of strong female characters in his life that have taught him a lot about how to live and how to love. So it's really wonderful. It's a really wonderful portrayal of women, actually, which is why I love it very much, and why it's so kind of powerful as well.
Yeah, and showing that, these women have really shaped him to be the man that he is today. And Ramin, as you said, is playing Guido. Have you ever performed with him before or any of those other women? Is it the first time?
I was in Sunset Boulevard with Ramin when we did it. We did it in concert, so we did it at Alexandra Palace, and then we did it at the Royal Albert Hall. I played Betty Schaefer, and and it was just so gorgeous to sing with him and perform with him. And then I was in Merrily We Roll Along with Josephina Gabrielle. So worked with her a long time ago, about 12 years ago. So it would be lovely to work with her again. And I've just known all the other women for a really long time, just sort of through the industry and through working.
Because you're no stranger to doing productions that are doing these concert versions. Last year, you was in the concert version of Oklahoma. That was a two-nighter. I honestly take my hat off to anybody who does these because it must be really intense to cram it all in, and get all these people together for, those 2 nights.
It's very very intense. But it's wonderful because it's sort of like you never ever get that feeling from when you've rehearsed for 6 weeks, and then so it's sort of crazy in a bad and a good way. It's like all the excitement, all the nerves, but you sort of just all sort of get together and support each other, and it's a wonderful feeling. I've been really lucky enough to do quite a few. Yeah, I did Pippin last year as well, which was incredible. And like you say, Oklahoma, and I've made some really incredible friends from the concert versions of these shows, because like I say, you have to really bundle together and just put the show on all together as a team.
Oh, I honestly, it must be just, yeah, that electric kind of bond to get it right and just kind of, yeah, but in a very quick, short amount of time. So how's the process now? Do you kind of learn your songs individually, and then are you all gonna come together a little bit before the 1st and 2nd of February? Have you met yet?
Yeah, so we had one day in London where we also, it was sort of a conveyor belt of all of us, and Ramin was sort of there all day. And we learnt our songs, and then I went through a couple of the scenes with Ramin just to kind of like see what it was like. And then we won't see, and yeah, and then I'm gonna learn my script and my songs by myself, and then we won't see each other until a few days before, yeah, in Manchester, where we're all going to get together and just sort of make something. But I'm really really excited, and I think it's actually going to be quite full out with set and costumes and everything. So nobody will be shortchanged, definitely.
Well, if it's anything to go by, last year Hope Miller did Gypsy in concert, and I saw that, and I didn't know what to expect, how stripped back it was going to be, and it did feel like you were actually seeing this full scale production, despite the fact it was the concert version. So I am thoroughly excited. But before I let you go, I have to talk about you and your career because I just feel like you came out with jazz hands in the air, Mrs. I mean, you are musical theatre through and through. Was there any particular moment, though, where you felt it was for you? Was there a show that you kind of saw as a child that made you go, "Oh, this is it"?
I mean, a couple of shows really. I remember seeing Cats a lot when I was younger, and obviously I've been lucky enough to do the show and the movie. So and it's been such a big part of my family. Cats, my parents are in it, and my auntie and my sister, and so yeah, I suppose Cats, and then also sort of seeing shows like Starlight Express as well when I was younger, and shows like that. You just go, yes, I'm going to do that, you know. And I know that it was a big part of my family, and everybody in my family does it, but it was never sort of pushed on us. It was always sort of like, do you want to? If anything, we were sort of asked if we wanted to do something else, because obviously my family knew how hard it was and how much rejection there was, and
Yeah.
so if anything, we were sort of encouraged to go in different directions. But yeah, it's in the blood, I guess, and I'm so glad I do it.
You and your sisters have all been so successful in performing. Like you said, your parents were in Cats and your auntie's Bonnie
Yeah.
Langford. I mean, you have done so many different shows up to now. I think, for me, I loved you in Mary Poppins. You were
Oh, thank
absolutely
you.
incredible. But is there anything, that you are just kind of going, oh, I want to crack that? Is Broadway the next thing that you would love to go and do?
Yeah, I think I would love to work on Broadway. I've always sort of prided myself on being a triple threat, and I think that Broadway really, really celebrate that. And so I've really sort of worked hard at every discipline through my career. I've been so lucky to do very kind of varied jobs, from sort of playing Mary Poppins to being in a dance company with Matthew Bourne. So I'd love to sort of do a show on Broadway that kind of celebrates all of those things, which I think Broadway are really, really good at doing. But I
Um,
think when it comes to roles, I've sort of never really set myself up to play particular roles, because I think if you sort of go for something and then you don't get it, you might end up setting yourself up for disappointment. So I've sort of kind of just gone with the flow and seen what comes my way, and sort of manifest as much as I can.
I
Um,
love it. I love a bit of manifesting. I really, really do.
yeah, yeah, positive energy out.
Absolutely. Send it out to the universe. And it
Yeah,
was great to see you doing some presenting at West End Live last year. Were you going to be
yeah.
doing some more presenting in the future? Would that be something you want to go into?
I'd absolutely love to, actually. I really got the bug from that day. It was so fun. I mean, it's so hard because you have so many people talking to you and asking you to do different things, and you're constantly on the go all day long. But I really, really loved it. It was so super enjoyable. I'd love to do Western Live again, actually. That was yeah, a fantastic day.
Well, I think you would make a welcome return. But first up, you are going to be at Lowry in Salford, two
Hmm.
nights, 1st and 2nd of February. Absolutely smashing it as Carla. Honestly, we are so excited. I pinching myself the fact that we've got so many talented people on the stage in
I
this first.
know. And I think there's going to be a 24-piece orchestra as well, which is just going to sound incredible.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's going to be a real, real treat. It really is.